così sigilleli Africa, malupakani sumbondolayo, Israeli tangazo yetu, così sigilleli Dima usamuayo, Odina buluka sejaba saesu, ufiti sitin twali matreye, si buluke sejaba saesu, sejaba South Africa, South Africa. Lady blow from onze hemel, Lady dikke van ons voor ons eeuwige verachtend, waar ik onze antwoord geef. Zelfs de volkeren come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live strong for freedom in South Africa.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Nelson Mandela Capture Site, one of the prime tourist destinations here in Umgeni in the heart of the KZN Midlands. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Kenneth Borlong. You are very welcome with us today. And to, the Mayor from Umgungundlovu, Mr. Mzizuma, the Mayor from Msunduzi, Mzi Tobela, our very own Mayor from Umgeni, Chris Papas, Deputy Mayor Sandile Mnakati, Deputy Mayor from Umgungundlovu, Spo Plamini, and welcome to Eunice Majola, Speaker from Msunduzi. You are all very welcome, and welcome to our other guests, our officials, and to the other representatives here today. I wanted to start off with a very quick anecdote. So we've just sung our national anthem, which is a beautifully blended prayer for our country. And I once went to a small creche with our Chief Whip, who has passed on, our previous Chief Whip, Councillor Nhlaliyenza Ndlovu. And it was one of the most special things that I've seen in my career is the young children singing the national anthem. And when they got to the de-stem version, it was so cute because all they did was go ha 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 ha. And it was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. I don't want to take too long. I've welcomed our dignitaries and other guests, and I would now like to welcome our Mayor for Umgeni Municipality, Councillor Chris Papas. He is known to most of you and is a young, dynamic gentleman who has taken the helm of Umgeni and is taking us to great heights. Thank you, Mayor Chris.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the warm introduction. Good morning to the Deputy Minister, Mayors, Deputy Mayors, Speakers, any traditional leaders, amakhosi akhona namhlanje ngaphakathi kwethu, to our honored guests and to the community of Umgeni and Umgungundlovu are here with us today. You are all warmly welcomed to Umgeni local municipality. It is an immense honor to welcome you to this historic Nelson Mandela Capture Site as we do commemorate 30 years of South Africa's hard-won democracy. This momentous occasion is a time to reflect on a journey that we've traveled as a nation and that we celebrate our progress. But it is also a time for us to recommit to the values that lie at the heart of our Constitution. As the youngest mayor in South Africa, and as the mayor of the Umgeni municipality, this municipality that underwent a political change for the first time through democratic processes in 2021, I stand before you deeply aware of the responsibility and the privilege of public service. This change was not merely a shift in political control, it was an affirmation of our people's belief in democracy as a vehicle for change and progress. For local change and for national change, for provincial change, it reminds us as politicians of our community's wishes to use democracy as a vehicle for change and progress. Nelson Mandela once said, "There's nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find ways in which yourself have been altered." I believe that the former president was saying that when you return to a familiar place that stays the same over time, you have a unique opportunity to notice how you've changed over time. It highlights the personal growth and transformation that often happens gradually, that one might not be obvious until revisiting something or a place that stays static from the past. In such moments, the unchanged setting serves as a mirror, reflecting back the differences in our perspectives, our values, and of self-understanding that might help us develop better over time. The quote shows the idea that change is often more internal than external. Even if a place remains exactly the same as you left it, your experience and your growth can often make you feel entirely new. I often find myself returning to this place to reflect. It is a monument of resilience where history breathes among the hills of the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands, and the whispers of the struggle linger in the air. It is a place where the earth itself carries the weight of courage, and the soil is marked by footsteps of a journey that led to freedom. As we stand here today in this place of rich history, we as leaders, as people, should pause and reflect. We should see not only how our nation has evolved, but also the work that still lies ahead. We must recognize that this democracy was not forged by government alone. It is the enduring commitment of civil society, the private sector, and ordinary citizens that kept us on course through some of the most challenging times. Thank you for your role, all of you, for your resilience and for your unwavering belief in the dream of a free and fair South Africa. Our democracy has been tested by corruption and maladministration, the scars of which we still carry today. Yet, these trials have also highlighted the importance of accountability and the need to uphold strong institutions that safeguard the rights of our freedoms. The judiciary, the public protector, the Independent Electoral Commission, the Human Rights Commission, to name a few, stand as pillars of justice and truth. These institutions are essential and must resist any attempts to undermine them. South Africa has endured many difficult years. We begin to rebuild trust and lay a stronger foundation for the future. Here, Mayor Tebola, Mayor Zuma, local government plays an indispensable role of municipalities that we touch lives directly, ensuring that our communities experience the tangible benefits of democracy and feel the strength of a government that listens and responds. So as we gather here today, let us remember that our democracy is not merely a destination. It is a that unite people and bring us together. So today we honor that journey and rededicate ourselves to Mandela's vision, standing committed to work for South Africa, all our citizens. Thank you and welcome to you all.
Thank you, Mayor Pappas. I'm now going to invite sector representatives to come up and speak on 30 years of democracy to their organizations. And we'll start off with MTM. If I could ask Mr. Ramsey Motsedi to come up. Thanks. I don't know how long you've been given, but well, Council.
Good afternoon, honorable council speakers, all traditional leaders present. My name is Ramsey Mosetedi. I'm the General Manager for Stakeholder Relations at MTN. And I stand here proudly a South African, an MTNer. We are very proud of this democracy because we were born out of this democracy. Leaders, as I stand here, the community, as I present myself to you, 30 years this year of its existence. Born out of our democracy as a country. More profoundly and proudly so, the ever first call that was made on our network was made by the late President Rolihlahla Nelson Mandela on the 7th of February in 1994. And for our democracy, we were anticipating elections in that year. The discussions were going quite well. And to have, or to be the first person to receive a call on a different telecommunications technology called GSM, telecom exchanges and so on. And GSM offered mobility. He could not believe it. Place where he was sitting, he received a call on a small gadget, smaller than the usual landline that he was used to. And what a moment it was. And we've never looked back as an organization, as MTN. We've grown in leaps and bounds. We became a bigger group operating in 22 markets. We've now been reduced to 18 because we're exiting other markets as a business. But what is more profound is what we have done in South Africa. I'm not sure how many of you were here yesterday and the day before, where we were showcasing our school's connectivity program, where as part of our social obligations, as per our license, we are obliged to connect or provide ICT labs in schools. So far, we have developed and implemented 140 labs across the country in various schools. But what is more special about the program is that we also connect schools of people with disabilities, all forms of disabilities. And if you go to these special schools to see the technology that we deploy in enabling children with disabilities, those who are blind, those who are hard of hearing, those who have no limbs, they're able to enjoy education like ordinary kids would. And it touches our hearts to see those children growing normally like children should, regardless of their disability. At MTN, to close off, we live on a principle and value that every citizen deserves the benefit of a modern connected life. And it's through our government that we are empowered and enabled as an organization to provide these services to various communities, the four corners of our country. As we speak, we have covered over 90% of our population with mobile services. You have had the Department of Communications talking about sunsetting 2 and 3G so that we move more to what we call high-speed broadband, which will enable us to have data processed quicker on our network and on your phones to present to you information that is critical to conduct your lives. Whether it's a doctor doing diagnosis remotely to patients sitting in a clinic or sitting at home for that matter, or a teacher running a virtual class in the comfort of their lounge to students who are sitting in their homes as well. We are ready for that. We have the capacity, the capability to deliver on that. We are also glad, Deputy Minister, that the government has taken a view to partner with private sector to better our citizens' lives. Through the RT15 contract that we have with Treasury to provide mobile services to the public servants, we are sitting at over 40% of that public services population. We are also shortlisted by Treasury on what we call the RT29, which is a municipality-led program of digitizing services in municipalities through smart metering, whether it's water or it's electricity. We are in the infancy stages of that program. It will enable the municipalities to be more proficient and self-sufficient in a manner that helps them generate revenue and do collections quicker. We are very proud of this democracy, and to us it means a lot because it empowers us to empower our nation to be part of a global world on communication and interconnects us to the rest of the world. We can only say, happy birthday, South Africa, on your democracy, and we are glad to be part of it, and we are glad to be part of the future as we work with government in planning what is supposed to happen into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I can attest that MTM has done a lot of good work right here in Umgeni, so I think we can give you another round of applause. Thank you. Our next speaker is Miss Angela Matsimela. I'm afraid I don't know how to say the organization's acronym out loud, so I'll just say USAASAA. USASA. Oh, thank you. Please do come up, Angela. Thank you.
Okay. Greetings, Honorable Deputy Minister, the District Mayor of Mkungundlovu, the Speaker of the same district municipality, Madam Speaker of Umsunduzi, the Mayor of Umsunduzi, and the Honorable Mayor of Umgeni. My name is Angelique Matsimela. I come from USASA, which stands for Universal Service Access Agency of South Africa, a state-owned entity that is under the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies. We are delighted to be here today to speak about the agency because a lot of people do not know about us. We in the background. Our mandate is to ensure that there is universal access in South Africa. We run and manage the fund called the Universal Access Fund. And what we do with the funds that are in that fund is to ensure that we deploy policy-driven projects. So Parliament mandates us to execute certain projects that will ensure that there's universal access in South Africa. We have been focused on deploying broadband across South Africa through the ambit of SA Connect. And I'm pleased to say in the province of KZN, we have really made strides in ensuring that there's broadband access in Mpendle as well as Herigwala. We're currently busy there. But more importantly and passionate and close to my heart is the project that I look after, which is the Broadcasting Digital Migration Project. A lot of people would have heard on radio through the SABC, a plea to say we encourage South Africans that are earning less than 3,500 in their households to go and apply for a free set-top box, a decoder. Because as South Africa currently, our transmission is through an analog transmitter, through our signal distributor, which is Centec. That is old technology that is very costly. And therefore, we are on the race to ensuring that we switch off those analog transmitters. We have to migrate to digital, which is more fast, which is cost effective, and which will release spectrum for the likes of MTN and all the other telecoms providers. So we urge South Africans to please go and apply. If you are a household, a combined household that earns less than 3,500, we have our colleagues outside ready to register you so that you qualify for a free set-top box, a decoder. The government has procured it. So as USASA, we subsidize that decoder. And why do you need the decoder? By the 31st of December 2024, the minister has gazetted that that's the last date for all analog transmitters to be switched off in South Africa. And therefore, if you don't have a decoder, your TV will be blank, unless you have DSTV. DSTV causes you to pay a subscription fee, which we acknowledge that not all South Africans can afford to pay a monthly subscription fee. So if you get the government set-top box, you don't have to pay any subscription fee, and you still get actually more channels, 94 channels that you can watch. So we urge South Africans to please go and apply. It is very important so that you can still continue receiving the services from the likes of the SABC, ETV, and so forth. And so that is our plea. That is what we are here to do. Make sure that South Africans get universal access across the board, irrespective of their background, their geographic spread. You have the same rights to have access like any other person that is in an urban area. And so we are delighted to be here. We are resolute in our mission in ensuring that all South Africans get access. And we are on the ground. We don't speak too much. We just get the work done. And so colleagues and umphakathi wasemngeni, I'm urging, please do get in touch with our colleagues outside to register. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelique and USASA. I do hope that those who need to take up that opportunity do, so that you are not sitting on New Year's Day 2025 with no entertainment. Our next speaker is from Centec, and Mr. Marlon Finnis. Please come up.
So Angelique just blamed us for switching off, ne? Good afternoon, Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Mayor, and all dignitaries here present, and all leaders of industry, and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words. My name is Marlon Finnis. I'm Centec's Executive of Operations, and my apologies for we're on the ground at the moment, so apologies for that. So Centec is, as Angelique indicated, we are a signal distributor. We are a state-owned company. And, much as MTN has indicated, a child of or an organization that was almost born at the cusp of democracy. Centec was then established out of the SABC. And it was mainly to say that now that we have other broadcasters in the country, how do we then provide signal distribution for them? So Centec, in essence, provides the distribution for radio and TV signals into the households. So we are also on the background. People know only about the SABC and the ETVs and the likes. We are the ones that make sure that you are able to receive that on your antennas. Whether you're in your car, in your house, on the TV, radio, wherever, we are those people. We've got towers all over the country that we maintain, and we, as I've indicated, we are a state-owned company under the Department of Communications and Digital Technology. From a technology perspective, over the last 30 years, technology has changed significantly within the space, although it may not have been so visible. But a lot of things has changed. You know, we went from mono radio to stereo radio. We went to radio where you can see on the screens, you can see what program you're listening to. We went from analog television to digital television. And just to indicate that although there's analog television network still running, the digital television signal is also running as we speak. We've managed to, over the last few years, working closely with USASA as part of the Broadcast Digital Migration Program, where we've been entrusted to do two things. The one is to build the network for digital television, which we've done successfully. And since 2015, the country has been able to actually receive digital television. We've also lately been closely working with USASA and team and the department to ensure that households are connected with set-top boxes. So Angelique is quite correct. If you don't have a television that can be able to pick up the digital TV and you don't have a set-top box, unfortunately, by the 31st of December, 12 o'clock, there will no more be any analog television at the moment. So we are then working closely with that. As a business, we've also, because of the analog television migration to digital, spectrum has been already made available for the likes of MTN, as had been indicated earlier. And we've already switched off actually analog in 5 provinces as we speak. So we are moving with this one. However, Centec is also playing a pivotal role in terms of connecting the community in terms of data. We're playing a role in terms of the SC Connect network and the rolling out of that network. So Centec is also ensuring that the communities, especially our indigenous communities, have access not only to television content but also to data and cheap data. So I think as a business we've rolled with the times in terms of democracy. As an employer, we have been, when I joined the company almost about 28 years back, the company looked much different to what it looks now. So we've also ensured that there is opportunities not only for youngsters like myself, but also for women in the technical space. There is normally very much a male-dominated environment. Thinking about democracy on a personal note, it is very close and dear to my heart. It opened up doors for me personally in my personal life and in my professional life. I took part in the very first elections as a very, very young boy. And now I'm standing here in a company that has offered me so much because of what democracy has allowed for. I thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Finnis, and very interesting to learn about Centec. I was unaware of everything that you've been doing in the background. I'd like to invite Justice Kubeka up. He is here to entertain us briefly, and then we'll carry on with the other presenters.
Okay. So mangifike eOR Tambo ngiyabatshela ukuthi ngiye KZN namhlanje ngiyocelebrate u30 years of freedom. Hayi kushuthi ubaba ke bese yabuza ukuthi uba oshisa ngolivuliwe bese ke wakhala lo mama lo okuyena okade ebhake kushuthi le yatex indlela ebegijima ngayo ububona ukuthi lesitimela lesi ngeke sisakwazi kuma ndawo ngoba le yaphathi bekufanele iqale ngabo 3 aqala ngabo 4 ngoba uMr Phathi ubengekho akuwona umuzi oqala obugqekezo le eHowick kade ngibeka umuzi wes4 kanje and bekuyena lo baba okufanele adiphe inkomo zakhe kuqala kodwa kushuthi ke kwase kwaqala lo wakangcoba ayikuthiwa umshado okusuzoqala abeze dabukiso le yamngcwabo angikaze ngibone abantu bekhala kangaka so niyazi ke nani mongena eParliament kuhlala iNC ngala iDA ngala ngokuhlukahlukana kwabo hayi kushuthi ke basho le ntombazana bahamba ke nayo so for those who don't understand what I'm saying, I was saying that I go to the airport and then they told me that my baby was now 3 months so umsangane nje cabanga nje wangikhuluma umsangano nje ngishadile ngoba amantombazane abeqoma yeah I'm so happy to be part of this celebration of it for 30 years guys we come from far hey I was telling the people I was with in the past that in the old days even as stand-up comedians it was very difficult because when you're telling jokes people were not allowed to laugh. You'll have to laugh in Afrikaans, eh? Everyone went like so yeah, man, I mean this democracy it was not easily achieved, eh? People had to die, people have to be arrested, but the most thing that was common in the old days, strikes, eh? People were on the road every now and then, eh? But today people just strike for nothing. This other day, I'm coming from ICC in Durban. I'm going to my house. And then there's people that are striking. I will never marching like that. By MZino cancel. Everyone is going like, hey, 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 hey. And then I'm like, I get off the car, I go to them. Why are you striking? Hey, hey, hey. Kapela, please tell me so I can join. Hey, hey, hey. So I did not know what they're striking for, but I joined. Hey. Hey, hey. So everyone who came after me asking me, Justice, why are you guys striking? Hey, hey, hey. Only to find when you go to the councillor's house, why you guys are striking? Hi, when a councillor who sends him, and then the councillor like, why? What did I do? What did I do? Hi, sonke la indaweni, asina gesi, when imoti yakhe iyakhanya. So, but one thing I love about to perform for a diverse audience and the achievements of this democracy is that I'm now able to have friends, white friends, to have colored friends, to have closer friends, to have Indian friends. So it's so nice because white people are so soft. White people are so romantic. White people, I'm telling you, my mom used to work for a white family. So one day my mom invited me, there was a funeral in that family, so I was invited. So I got there, it was so sad. That's why I was like, wow, white people, they are so I was crying. Oh, no! Oh, why? Why you? Why not him? There are some guys. Why? It was so sad. I didn't even know who passed, but I was like, I'm going to cry now. Like, oh, what? And then I asked my mom before I cry, Mom, before I cry, who am I crying for? Oh, Mtanami, it's their cat, Mtanami. I'm like, yo, man. Why are they? You know, you know how to different black people. It's easy. Like white people are soft and loving and stuff. Black people hardcore. Colored hardcore. Don't break. Come out, still be president. You know, that's us. That's like black people. Like you will shoot a black person compared to a white person. The reaction will be different. You'll be let's say you're shooting a white guy, not you, papas, but guy will be running. Oh my God! And then you say, "Yeah, stop, or else I will shoot you." The white guy always they don't. You know, white guys like People, they go to forest and stuff, don't know what they're doing there, then wrong turn happens. You know? And then like, I'm gonna shoot you. I have a gun. No, you won't shoot me. You know, then like, you actually shoot like, bah! But you only miss, you just the tip of the finger. Just because he's white and soft and caring and sensitive, he's going, oh my God! I've been shot in the finger. What must I do? I must die. A black man, never. You'll be chasing after Usbu. Usbu is running. Hey, stop, or I'll shoot. Hey, try. And then you actually shoot him like, bah, right in the thigh. And then like, bah, like, oh my God, I've been shot. What must I do? Keep running, Baba, keep running. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Justice Kopega.
I think he deserves another round of applause. And our next guest speaker is from Councillor Pam Passmore's favourite company, JC Decor, Mr. Madoda Dlamini, if you would like to come up.
Sanibonani, mphathi wehle la ungithandi. I'm not a comedian. Just bear that in mind. DM in the presidency, all the mayors, deputy mayors, Bosomlomo. My name is, and all the captains of industry, umphakathi wonke, nabefundisi. I thank you for this opportunity. But I must state that I was hijacked to be here. The culprit knows, I'll deal with him later. But I think for my sins, my name is Madoda Dlamini from a company called JC Decor, or JC Decox, or JC Decow, or JC De whatever. It's a French company. I'm from Joburg, not from France. The company is from France. A place called Neuilly and Plaisir in France. And my brother and I, so 30 years of democracy. 1994, that's when I began my professional career in communication, advertising and communications, and 12 years ago, so JC Decor is a child of the Inkululeko, in this country. Because my brother and I took a flight to Paris 13 years ago to bring them into this country. At that time, they were second in the world. Today, they are number one in the world as the number one outdoor advertising company in the world. JC Decor is in over 83 countries around the world, and we brought them to South Africa for the simple reason that ours was very, very clear, is that we needed to change the dynamic. We became the transformational partners, 30% of the company within JC Decor, with a very clear mandate that the industry and the communications space needed to transform and transform radically. Now, one of the reasons why, as we were scouring the world to see which company would be receptive and aligned to the narrative that was critical to the transformation agenda of this country, was the fact that JC Decor is not just an outdoor company. I would say it's an infrastructure company. Because the narrative hand in glove with the municipalities for the benefit of citizens. We deploy infrastructure paid for by outdoor advertising in order to transform the landscape, in order to communicate, and in order to be able to serve society and the citizens of the country. For example, in Paris, well known for a product called street furniture. Part of the JCD core DNA has not been implemented in this country because we are a market that is well advanced in terms of, but the narrative that I'm giving is that the infrastructure that is deployed in other countries around the world, for example, toilets. We go into a place and we find what is it that is required in an environment. And then we deploy that specific furniture and we recoup our investment through long-term contracts, not exclusive. We are able to work with of assets that are able to resonate and are able to meet the requirements of the citizens in collaboration with the media. So in Paris, we've deployed over 500 toilets, bus shelters, because that's what the need was, and paid for by advertising. Nigeria, our founder, our chairperson, current chairperson, Jean Charles Decor, went to Nigeria with our partners in Nigeria. You're just static. You can't go anywhere. So what we deployed is Lattice, a traffic information system. Give drivers a view of what the next off-ramp would be, how long you're going to stay in traffic, but also what the ability for brands to be able to communicate to the citizens. But what is critical in that particular narrative is that what Nigeria needed is not what was in Paris, but also ablution facilities in that particular environment were scarce. So we've deployed, toilets within the Nigerian environment and bus shelters. We are still in that particular space. But more than that, I think what is important as we work tirelessly hand in glove with GCIS, what is important is that from a branding perspective, whether in Oxford Street in London or whether it's New York, at the touch of a button, brand South Africa is pronounced. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for that of today, is that as we celebrate the 30 years of our freedom as a country, we take that we've traversed up to this particular time, and we have an analysis. And what buoys me about this particular environment and where we've been from the last couple of days and where we are going is the partnership that government, private sector, civil society, nomphakathi at large, and particularly the youth, because this is a job that cannot be done by one or another or the other sector. It's a collaborative. And as we take stock to examine all the failures, all the challenges, all opportunities, all the successes, I think from here, the next 30 years, how are we going to be accountable to each other to make sure that as we move into the future, the next another 30 years, that we seek to see a South Africa that we are going to be proud of. And what is very important is that let us not leave anybody behind. So the youth of say what that is. It's chaotic. It is not sustainable. So the collaboration between private sector and government and civil society, that we are on the ground and engaging and communicating is part of the dialogue that we speak about. The fact that we have got to engage scenario, nor is it a governmental scenario, nor is it a civil society scenario. It's a collaborative approach. So with those words, the partners at GCIS, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and we'll continue to work tirelessly for a common vision and a common goal. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dlamini. And I think that that is a commuters in South Africa, here in Umgeni and in the town that I represent of Howick. Like a 2024,